It's been a bit of a long, dark and gloomy day, and it's still raining in some spots. Here's a live look at the gray night sky at White Bear Lake. The wet weather has riverside communities on edge as all major waterways in Minnesota continue to swell.
Not very inviting there. The rising waters are cutting off more roads, parks, businesses, and some homes. One of the latest closures includes Fort Snelling State Park. And unfortunately, that means the popular Twin Cities Park will be closed for Sunday's Free Park Day. So
we begin with your weather first tonight. So let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Ian Leonard with a look at what you're seeing out there and what we're anticipating.
You know, for the last month, we've been anticipating the snowmelt taking most of our major waterways well up. Then last weekend, we had a little rain and a lot of snow. Last night, we had a lot of rain. The rainfall through this morning, an inch plus in parts of the metro. Where you see this yellow bit here from Waconia all the way to Rogers, that's an inch and a half and then some. Also the same from Redwood Falls into Hutchinson. Bit of a problem here. If you go from the metro straight to the west, areas north of that line, that's the upper Mississippi River Basin. South of that line, it really is the Minnesota River Valley Basin. So all of that moisture starting to gather. And through this afternoon, we kept a little drizzle around, but the snow to the north, and you're like, snow way? And I'm like, yes, snow line for heavy accumulating snow is there through Mille Lacs and areas to the north overnight and into the day tomorrow. But of course, it is all about the floods. Colors on the map. Where you see the purple dots on specific rivers, that's major flood stage. Where you see the red is moderate flood stage. Major flood stage here on the South Fork of the Crow and the Crow. Moderate on the Mississippi coming into Minneapolis. Flood stage here on the Minnesota River working all the way into St. Paul. But what a difference a couple of years makes. When we had the drought last year and the year before, these are from our storm chaser, Bill Doms. Bill, thank you, who lives out in Buffalo. Look at this. This is right near Deer Lake, near Buffalo, as it comes out of the lake. That was during the drought. That is today. You know, we're not even talking major waterways here, but we are talking about an inordinate amount of moisture over the snowpack, over the rain. 10 rivers at or over flood stage, multiple road closures and detours this weekend, parts of 28 counties in flood warnings. It is going to be a mess all through the weekend and into early next week. Spent some time with Corin Hoggard earlier today. He is out covering the floods for us. And Corin, you've really done yeoman's work over the last few nights. We find you yet again beside a flooded river.
Yeah, a lot of flood coverage. We can hear the Mississippi here right now. We're on a path connecting Boom Island to Nelson Park. It flooded here just over the last 2 days as it rained, and this is just a small symptom of what could potentially be a big problem.
The St. Croix River is swallowing up homes in Lakeland, essentially erasing Quixote Avenue and flooding more than 20 houses. The Crow River is tickling the bottom of a bridge in Delano and bursting past the banks. Exactly a week ago, cars drove across the same bridge, and the river was swollen but not overflowing. In both spots, this was about as bad as river flooding was supposed to get. I asked Chief Meteorologist Ian Leonard to explain how recent rain changed the calculus.
I'll bring up a hydrograph, which is looking at the cubic feet per second and the overall flow rate and the height of the river. So South Fork of the Crow near Mare. Now, as you notice here over the last week, it has been going up, but staying just under major flood stage. If we didn't have the rain, a quarter inch yesterday, nearly 3 inches overnight, it would have continued to work down. But then you notice it begins to peak back up here into major flood stage.
That same sort of double crest is happening in the St. Croix. The Mississippi may be the exception. Instead of slowing down, then growing again, it's just growing. At Harriet Island Park, you can see the river is well beyond its banks, burying benches, paths, and picnic tables that were all in use as recently as Friday when the city closed the park. A St. Paul spokeswoman said, even with the extra rain, the damage is minimal because they prepare for problems like this and an even higher river.
There's not really a lot of extra things that we need to do with that extra foot. We've done a lot of them already with closing some major roads, shutting down some sanitary sewers.
Now, the Mississippi was expected to crest in St. Paul this weekend originally, but the rains have pushed that back about a week, and it's going to be 5 feet above flood stage there in St. Paul. Lie along the Mississippi, Corin Hoggard, Fox 9.
All right, Corin, thank you.